Leora stepped into the first rays of dawn, feeling the crisp air of the savannah brush against her skin as if the world itself was greeting her. Ahead of her, Mara, the matriarch elephant, waited near a dusty waterhole, her enormous frame calm yet commanding. But it wasn't her size that struck Leora, it was the depth in her eyes, a gentle wisdom that seemed to hold decades of stories. Mara moved with purpose, lifting her trunk to greet Leora in a gesture that felt almost human, as if she were welcoming a long-lost friend. The elephant seemed to remember everything, old watering holes now dry, her calf's playful antics years ago, and even humans who had passed through her herd decades earlier. Leora felt humbled. Mara's memory was not just impressive, it was emotional, woven with the kind of loyalty and care humans often struggle to express. Watching her, Leora wondered how many lessons about patience, family, and resilience humans could learn from such quiet giants. A ripple of movement caught her eye nearby, and Leora's attention shifted to Xylo, a young basilisk lizard who darted across the water with uncontainable energy. He moved so fast it looked like he was defying gravity, each tiny foot slapping the surface in a rhythm that seemed playful, almost taunting the laws of nature. Leora laughed, imagining the little lizard as a child showing off a new skill, proud and mischievous in his triumph over the impossible. Xylo paused for a moment, head tilted, as though he were aware Leora was watching, as if to say, "See? I can do this, and it's amazing." His excitement was contagious, and Leora felt her own pulse quicken at the sheer joy of witnessing something so effortlessly magical. Further along the tide pools, Ophelia, the octopus, emerged, her skin shifting colors in a hypnotic dance that mirrored her mood, and her three hearts pulsed in a rhythm that felt almost like laughter. She studied Leora with intelligent curiosity, her tentacles moving with the grace of a dancer, exploring, experimenting, and reaching toward the girl as though inviting her to understand the world from her perspective. Ophelia's presence was both playful and profound. Leora realized that intelligence came in many forms, and some of the smartest creatures were those we often overlooked. Here was a being without bones, without a human-like face, yet overflowing with personality, problem-solving ability, and the courage to explore a world that could easily overpower her. The gentle hum of honeybees led Leora to a meadow bathed in sunlight, where dozens of buzzing insects performed intricate dances to communicate with one another. Each bee had its own personality, some daring, skimming boldly over flowers, some shy, hesitating at the edge of the meadow before joining the dance. They moved in coordinated patterns that shared critical information about the location of nectar, yet each seemed aware of its role in the larger story of the hive. Leora watched in awe as these tiny creatures, barely noticeable to most humans, managed an entire society built on trust, communication, and shared purpose. Their diligence and intelligence reminded her that complexity in life is not always obvious, it often hides in the smallest beings who contribute the most to the world around them. As the sun climbed higher, Leora wandered into an open plain where Giselle, the giraffe, towered gracefully among the golden grass. Her long neck swayed gently, and at night, she communicated with her herd through low-frequency hums, soft sounds that traveled far and conveyed comfort and safety. Giselle's presence was serene yet commanding, a living reminder of quiet leadership and gentle care. Leora felt a sense of peace being near her, as if the world slowed in recognition of the giraffe's understated wisdom. Watching Giselle with her herd, Leora realized that some forms of communication are subtle, almost imperceptible, yet their impact is profound and enduring. Night fell, and Leora found herself in a snow-dusted forest, startled by the sudden sound of movement beneath the thin layer of ice and snow. Felix, a red fox, crouched in the drift, ears twitching like a conductor listening to a symphony only he could hear. With precise calculation and playful cunning, he leapt and landed flawlessly atop a mouse, his triumph evident in the flick of his tail and the gleam in his eyes. Felix was not merely hunting, he was celebrating his own skill, reveling in the thrill of survival and the artistry of movement. Leora marveled at his patience, ingenuity, and sheer joy in the mastery of his environment. Her journey led her to the edge of the ocean, where a pod of dolphins greeted the waves with leaps and whistles. Nico, the most exuberant among them, seemed to playfully challenge his siblings, twisting and spinning through the surf while calling out signature whistles that functioned as names.